You're listening to Side by Side with Kathy Wilson, Episode 22, Trick or Treat. This was my most favorite day of the entire year. Halloween was here, and the scene was perfect. Dark clouds, a cold wind whipping the trees into a frantic dance with a promise of rain. I could hear the spooks leaving their lairs and preparing for a haunting good time. Every sound I heard on this hallowed eve would offer many possibilities to my foolhardy brain, which sincerely desired to be scared stiff. Hickory was ready for the fun to start. My memories took me back to my father and the story he once told me about going out on Halloween and pushing over outhouses. That must have been especially exciting for a group of young boys. Imagine going around and just giving someone's jaw the old heave ho. One time they pushed the privy over at the minister's house, and the minister's daughter was inside. Dad laughed as he told me about the language she used. It was quite colorful for a minister's daughter. I asked them if they had got into trouble, and my dad said they weren't caught. Too bad there aren't outhouses anymore. It wouldn't matter much to me, though, since only the boys had fun like that. It's too bad girls have to be so proper all the time. There should be a dispensation for my gender on Halloween. Ralph looked out the window and observed, "You won't get many trick-or-treaters tonight. The weather is not the best." "The weather is perfect. Cold, windy, and damp. You couldn't get better. When I was out collecting goodies one time on Halloween, the weather was just like this, and a goblin swooped down out of a tree and pulled my hair. He even stole my red hair ribbon." "Stole your hair ribbon? What were you dressed as?" Ralph always needed details. "I was dressed up as Shirley Temple. It was a big job putting all those curls in my hair, I can tell you." "Shirley Temple? Not the usual disguise. Doesn't quite suit you. Why not a witch?" "Ralph, everyone dresses up as a witch on Halloween. Where's the originality there? I can guarantee you, I was the only Shirley Temple on the streets that year." "Yes, I'm sure you were, but Shirley would never dump over an outdoor privy." The sound of the doorbell ringing put an end to our conversation. Hickory took the 7 stairs to our front door in one mighty leap, while I chose the more conventional approach and descended one step at a time. I had 2 boxes filled with bags of potato chips by the front door, so we were prepared for the ghostly invasion. When I opened the door, it was not precisely ghosts that awaited me. In fact, I wasn't sure what was there, although somebody must have rang my doorbell. Did I mention that it was after 7 in the evening and all was so dark that I couldn't see anyone there, even with the outside light on? This was a surprise, but we weren't beat yet. "Guess what? The invisible man is at our door. Maybe we should give him a bag of invisible chips. What do you think?" Ralph stood at the top of the stairs and inspected the scene. "That's a good idea. I wondered what to do with all those invisible potato chips. They're supposed to be low in calories." All at once my doorstep was occupied by 2 figures, but I couldn't see what they were wearing. One was dressed in black, so I asked, "Are you one of the men in black?" "No, can't you see? I'm Batman. Everyone knows that." "Ralph, have you ever heard of a guy named Batman?" No, he must be one of your family. There's no Batman in mine. Yes, that must be it. I have a lot of cousins, no doubt one of those. Okay, so if you're Batman, then is this your friend Robin? No, 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 I'm not Robin. I'm a fairy. See, I have wings. Oh, a fairy. I didn't know that Batman knew any fairies. Do you ride around in the Batmobile too? I was having a lot of fun, and the little fairy was really having to work for her treat. Fairies don't need to ride around in cars. They can fly anywhere they want to go. Are you going to give us some treats or not? Treats? Ralph, do we have to give away our treats? Isn't that the point of Halloween? Ralph sounded definite, so I gracefully gave in. All right then, if that is what I am supposed to do, okay. I put 2 bags of chips in each of their pillowcases. Now, what are you going to give me? I did my best to look hopeful. This was fun. Nothing. I don't give out treats, I just take them. Batman was completely serious on this matter. You don't know about Halloween, do you? The little fairy was taking on a belligerent tone. You give away the treats. You don't get them. We knock on the doors and we get treats. That's how it works. I get it now. I have to knock on a door and then someone gives me some goodies. I can do that. Batman was getting annoyed. You have to wear a costume to knock on doors and get treats. You would have to dress up as a Ninja Turtle or something. No, Ronnie, she can't go trick or treating because she is too old. Only kids can do that. The little fairy was certain on this piece of information. And as the two walked away, I heard Batman announce, I was afraid she wasn't going to give us anything. Hickory looked out the door, but saw no one else coming, so she returned to her lookout post by the front window. I climbed back up the stairs as Ralph looked on with a great deal of disapproval. Cat, those poor little kids. Just give 'em the potato chips and let them get on with it. That wouldn't be much fun. I enjoy a bit of a chat to go with the goodies. If we do it your way, I don't get anything. I can't see their costumes, so an exchange of ideas seems fair to me. Besides, Hickory loves children, and we don't have any, so this is a treat for her, too. I needed to give some serious thought about Ralph's tendency to poop on my parties. Sometimes he took his serious opinions way too far. Hickory leapt away from the front window and made her mighty leap to the front door. We must have some more visitors. I gave my wits an extra sharp point and waited for the doorbell, which sounded a few seconds later. As I reached for the doorknob, several possibilities came to my mind. Could it be a ghost or another Batman or Lord love a duck, an angel lurking? We would have to find out. I opened the door. Trick or treat, came a number of voices. I thought it sounded like 3, but it might be 4. They sounded older to me. I would need to keep on the alert. Older boys can be a challenge. Ralph was in position at the top of the stairs, while Hickory was sniffing our visitors. She knew they were up to something. Hi, how's your trick or treat going? Are you collecting lots? I didn't like to contribute a full sack of goodies, but the weather was cold, so a bag of chips was reasonable in my opinion. Yeah, we're good. Their spokesman wasn't volunteering much information, so I needed to dig a bit deeper. What are you wearing for a costume? We didn't dress up, that's for kids. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Costumes are for kids, and so are treats. That's not fair. Everyone likes treats, not just kids. The rest of the group contributed grunts of agreement. Okay, you didn't dress up, so you owe us a treat. Sing us a song. A song? We don't know any songs. We don't sing. This guy was determined to get chips without putting himself out at all. Such arrogance nettled me. Hickory didn't care whether they sang because she was more intrigued with the goodies in their shopping bags. How many of you are there? About 10 of us. That's a great number of voices. You should be able to sing quite well with all those. For your performance, I won't demand harmony, but I expect to hear the melody and the correct words as well. We don't know any songs. This guy was really squirming, and it was fun. I added more ammunition to my arsenal. You have 10 guys here, and I am sure not all of them are as musically ignorant as you. Sing the Inky Dinky Spider. It is appropriate for Halloween, and if you do the hand motions that go with the song, I'll give you all 2 bags of chips. That's a lot to do for some stupid chips. That song has 4 lines. You mean all 10 of you can't sing 4 lines of Inky Dinky Spider? That's pathetic. Come on, Hickory, these guys are wasting my time. No, wait a minute, I know that song. I learned it in kindergarten. So did you, Fred. That was a different voice, so I waited for the entertainment to start. Within seconds, one of the boys started the first line, and the spider crawled up the water spout, while the others joined in while the rain washed the spider out. The song inspired the hand motion too, and by the time the sun came out and dried up all the rain, everyone seemed to be into it. I felt so thrilled when that Inky Dinky Spider went up the spout again. I clapped with enthusiasm. That was fantastic. You did that so well. You should get a recording contract. Everyone laughed, and I gave out 10 bags of potato chips. Hey, you only gave us 10 bags. I thought you were going to give each of us 2 bags. I did my best not to laugh, but a smile snuck in anyway. That's really strange. I listened very carefully while you were all singing, and I distinctly heard 3 separate voices, and another one came in a couple of times. Of course, this person told me he couldn't sing, so that makes 5 people, including our silent singer. So double that, and you get 10 bags of chips. Thanks so much for the excellent entertainment. Hickory and I really liked it. How about you, Ralph? It sounded good to me. As the boys made their way back down our driveway, I closed the door and asked, how many of them actually were there? As Ralph turned away from his spot at the top of the stairs, he laughed. I counted 4 of them. The rascals! They wrangled 2 extra bags of chips from me. Not as smart as I thought I was. Maybe not, but you're smart enough, Hickory thought as she resumed her observation post at the front window. I would be surprised if you got any more kids tonight. It's raining much harder now. I was about ready to exclaim over my husband's negativity when Hickory gave a bark and leapt to the bottom of the stairs. She was eager to greet our next guest. Looks like you spoke too soon. Yes, I realized that I was gloating, but surely a bit of satisfaction is permissible from time to time. As I reached the front door, the bell rang and Hickory's tail began to swish back and forth. There, standing on our doorstep, was a little girl under a bright orange umbrella. I really liked the bright color, but the rest of her outfit deserved full marks for originality. Her two-piece bathing suit resembled the American flag. The skimpy bottom was dark blue with white stars, and the top portion consisted of red and white stripes. Frosted frisbees, but this cup size was at least a D, and the little girl couldn't be more than 10. I didn't laugh. That wasn't easy, believe me. A diagonal gold sash ran from her shoulder to waist, proclaiming that she was Miss America. Her gold tiara sat in royalty upon her head. She was wet, but also proud of her new outfit and social standing. I invited her inside the door. It was raining quite hard. Ralph was once again enjoying his balcony view from the top of the stairs. Hickory was looking up at Miss America with a happy grin, while my curiosity was running full tilt. "What a great costume! Where did you find it?" The little girl thought for a minute. She wasn't sure if she should be talking to strangers. But then she saw the bags of chips and decided. "My mom bought it at the thrift store. She wanted to wear it at the pool this summer, but Dad said no, and then they got mad." "That was pretty sad for your mom. Why didn't your dad like it?" "Dad said it wasn't patriotic. He said it should be a Canadian flag." I could just imagine a Canada swimsuit with a big red maple leaf on the rear of a white two-piece. It would sport a red vertical stripe at each boob. Sometimes patriotism isn't the best idea. Miss America was eyeing the potato chips and gave Hickory several gentle pets. "I really like your dog. She's Hickory, isn't she?" "Yes, you're right. Have you met her before?" "Yes, you and Hickory came and talked at my school." "Oh, I remember that. She had a fantastic time that day. That's a really good costume, but didn't you have some friends to go out with tonight? You're all by yourself." "I was with Karen and Patty, but they decided to go home when it started raining really hard. I didn't want to stop until my bag got full. Does Hickory like candy?" I was relieved to notice that her goodie bag was almost full. I could fill it to the top with bags of chips so she could go home to get dried off and warm. "Yes, Hickory likes candy, but she isn't allowed to have any." "Oh, poor Hickory. See all the stuff I got?" Miss America held her bag wide open right in front of Hickory. Could you honestly blame Hick for helping herself? Oh, the piteous wails that Miss America cried out. "I said to look at my treats, not take them." Hickory stood with an apple clutched in her jaws. It wasn't a very big apple either. It certainly wouldn't qualify for treat status, but it was an apple. "I think Hickory misunderstood what you meant. I'll get you another apple." I brought her a Granny Smith from the fridge. "This apple is bigger than the one Hickory took, and it will taste good too." I placed my precious Granny Smith into her bag and piled 3 bags of chips on top. There wasn't room for even one stick of gum in her bag now. As Miss America left, Hickory watched her departure from the front window, still clutching the apple. A few minutes later, Ralph turned off the outside lights. "That's odd. Why isn't Hickory eating the apple? All she is doing is licking it. She must have wanted it or she wouldn't have taken it. She was trying for something else and got the apple instead. No doubt a big disappointment. She also knows that I gave away our last Granny Smith." "Not the last one. That's tragic." I could hear the amusement in Ralph's voice. Do we have any bags of chips left? Yes, a whole box. I took the apple from Hickory and washed it off. I then peeled, cored, and cut it into quarters, ate one and gave another to Hickory. It tasted fine. Hick rested her chin on my lap, anticipating another apple quarter. It was a perfect Halloween, don't you think? Ralph took some chips from his bag. Yes, at least some kids showed up. These bags of chips are mostly air, not many chips. This Halloween business is a big rip-off. I stroked my dog's warm coat and considered the young lives that had touched mine that evening. No, Halloween was a bargain, a treat to be savored.